Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome you all students for our next segment of chemistry lecture, that is your chapter number 6, chemical kinetics part 2. As in the last lecture we have studied that chemical kinetics is a branch of physical chemistry which deals with the rate of chemical reaction and the factor those affect them. And then we have moved forward towards rate of reaction. What is rate of reaction? The rate of reaction describes how rapidly the reactant are consumed and the product are formed. Whatever the chemical reaction is there, how fast the reactant has been consumed and the product has been formed. Rate of reaction is of two types, as we have already studied in the last lecture. First one is your average rate of chemical reaction and the second one is your instantaneous rate of chemical reaction. Let us take a little bit review of it. First one is your average rate of chemical reaction. The average rate of a reaction describes us that the change in concentration of a species, that is your reactant or product, by time interval over which the time occur. Here it has been given that the average rate formula, change in concentration of a species means either of the reactant or the product, divided by change in time, that is your delta C upon delta T. So here this is the reaction. A plus B is your reaction. A is being your reactant, B is your product, A is consumed, B is formed. So rate of consumption of A is equal to minus delta to the concentration of A divided by delta T. So this is your consumption rate of A. Rate of formation of B is plus. Here plus sign is for the formation, minus sign is for the consumption. Here rate of formation of B is equal to plus delta to the concentration of B divided by delta T. So average rate is equal to rate of consumption of A is equal to rate of formation of B. So this is our average rate of chemical reaction, and the concentration, that a dimension of rate of R mole per dm cube per second. This is the dimension for average rate of chemical reaction. This is the instantaneous rate of reaction. The reaction A plus 3B gives you 2C. A and B is your reactant, C is your product. Here in the instantaneous rate of reaction, delta is being replaced by D, that is your derivative. So here D is the derivative. So here this is the instantaneous rate of the reaction minus, we are directly moving to the last part as we have done this in the last lecture, minus dA upon dt, that is reactant D has been consumed. So we are writing it minus T to the concentration of A divided by dt. Here minus 1 by 3 as 3 is the mole for B. So minus 1 by 3 D to the concentration of B upon dt is equal to 1 upon 2 D to the concentration of C upon dt. So this is the instantaneous rate of chemical reaction. We have done with the average rate of chemical reaction and instantaneous rate of chemical reaction. In the last lecture, I have given a reaction and I have said to write down it instantaneous rate of reaction. Write the expression for 2NO2 gives 4NO2. 2N2O gives 4NO2 plus O2. So, how many of you have been done it? Let us check it whether it is right or not. So this is the reaction. For reaction 2N2O gaseous in state gives 4NO2 gaseous in state plus O2 gaseous in state. As we know that N2O has been consumed and NO2 plus O2 has been formed. So rate of consumption for NO2O is equal to minus 1 by 2. 1 by 2 D concentration of N2O divided by dt. And what is formed? Plus 1 by 4 D concentration of NO2 divided by dt is equal to D concentration of O2 divided by dt. So rate of the reaction is equal to rate of consumption of N2O. This is the rate of consumption of N2O is equal to rate of formation of NO2 is equal to rate of formation of O2. This is your answer for the expression 2N2O gives 4NO2 plus O2. We are moving further towards rate of reactions and reactant concentration. So, the rate of a reaction at a given temperature for a given time instant depends on the concentration of reactant. Remember the thing, the rate of a reaction. Whatever be the rate of a reaction, whatever your reactant is there, it undergo chemical reaction, it will give you the product. Fine, the reactant will give you the product. So the rate of a reaction at a given temperature, whatever be the temperature it is given, for a given time instant, whatever be the time instant it has been given, depends on the concentration of reactant. It doesn't depend upon the concentration of product. It depends upon the concentration of the reactant. So rate concentration relation is the rate law. Your whatever but the relation between rate of reaction and the concentration of reactant is your rate law. So your student, your reactant is there, suppose R is the reactant, it will react, it will give you the product. So the rate of reaction depends on this concentration of reactant. It does not depends on the concentration of the product. Whatever you be the product is there, it will give you the, whatever your reactant is there, it will give you the product. So that remember, the rate of reaction depends on the concentration of reactant. Now let's move towards rate law. Consider the general reaction. Here the reaction has been given. A plus BB gives you CC plus DD. This is your reaction. So the rate of reaction at a given time is proportional to its molar concentration at the time raised to simple power. So here the rate of a reaction, whatever the rate of reaction at a given particular time is directly proportion. It is directly proportion to its molar concentration. This is the molar concentration at the time raised to simple power. This X and Y is the power. Fine, this X and Y are the power which has been raised to the concentration of the reactant. A and B is your reactant. Fine. So rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration raised to the power of the reactant. So rate, your proportionality sign has been replaced by is equal to sign. So K has been K. Rate of the reaction is equal to K, concentration of A raised to X, concentration of B raised to Y. What is K? K is the proportionality constant, which is known as rate constant. This K is your proportionality constant, which is known as rate constant. Fine. And this, which is independent of concentration. It doesn't depend upon the concentration. And this varies with temperature. And it is varies with temperature. The temperature changes, it also changes. Here, if we consider the unit concentration of A and B, suppose this A has changed to 1, so K raised to 1, it is unit concentration. Whatever your A will be there, it is unit concentration, so here it will be 1. Fine. And B, it is also 1, so K into 1, what it will be there, it will be equal to K. K into 1, what it is K. So rate R will be equal to K. So this R will be equal to K. This is your differential rate law. Fine. Since when unit concentration of A and B, when A and B will be 1, so K will be equal to rate of reaction. R will be equal to K. So equation 6.2 is your differential rate law. Understood everyone, student? What is rate law? Whatever your reaction is there, to that reaction at a given time, it is proportional to its molar concentration at that time raised to simple power. So rate of the reaction is directly proportional to concentration of A raised to X, concentration of B raised to Y. Where we are removing the proportionality sign, there it comes K, that is your rate constant. So here, student, a question arises. What is X and what is Y? From where X and Y is coming? Here X and Y may or may not be equal to stoichiometric number. In average rate reaction, instantaneous rate of reaction, we are writing the stoichiometric number. Suppose 3 is there. So we are writing is 1 upon 3A to the concentration of A. We are writing it like that way. So here X and Y may, it may be that, it may or not be that. So X and Y may or may not be equal to stoichiometric number. So what is X and Y? X and Y may be whole number. It must may be whole number. It may be 0. It may be fraction. A very important point, student. X and Y are experimentally determined. Remember, X and Y are experimentally determined. Remember this thing. Whatever the value X and Y is there to the concentration of A or B, it has been determined experimentally. So, X and Y tell us how the concentration change affect the rate of reaction. Fine. If the concentration of A has been changed, if it is A raised to 1, so it will be A. If it is A raised to 2, fine. If it is A raised to 1, it will be A. Fine. If it is A raised to 2, it will be A square. It makes a difference. Fine. So X and Y tell us how the concentration change affect the rate of reaction. It is a very important point, student. X and Y may or may not be equal to stoichiometric number. X and Y may be whole number, 0 or fraction. And a very important point, X and Y are experimentally determined. X and Y tell us how the reaction change affect the rate of reaction. Suppose this is the reaction. A plus B gives you C. For that, for A, X value, that rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of A raised to X to the concentration of B raised to Y. Fine. And here we are taking X and Y as the value 1. So rate of the reaction will change to rate is equal to K to the concentration of A to the concentration of B. A raised to 1 will be your A. B raised to 1 will be your B. Fine. Here the equation implies that the rate of a reaction depends linearly on concentration of A and B. The rate of a reaction depends linearly. If the concentration of A and B increases, then rate of a reaction will increases. If it decreases, then rate of the reaction will decreases. So here this equation for x is equal to y is equal to 1. Rate is equal to K to the concentration of A to concentration of B. So this equation implies that the rate of a reaction depends linearly on concentration of A and B. Now if either of concentration of A or B is double, the rate will be double. Suppose the concentration of A is 1, it has been changed to 2. Fine, it has been changed to 2. So the rate will be also double. So the rate of a reaction depends linearly on concentration of A and B when X is equal to Y is equal to 1. And if either of the concentration of A or B is double, the rate will be double. Next reaction, for X is equal to 2 and Y is equal to 1. The rate of a reaction is directly proportional to A, concentration of A, X raised to X, concentration of B raised to Y. So it will change to rate is equal to, in place of X we are writing it 2, in place of B, for B concentration, for Y we are writing 1. So rate of the reaction change, rate is equal to K, A raised to 2, B raised to 1. Now here if concentration of A is double, keeping that B constant, the rate of reaction will be increased by a factor of 4. Obviously it will increase by a factor of 4. How? Suppose for B we are taking 1, for A we are taking it 2. Fine. So we are writing K is equal to, for A we are writing it 2 raised to 2. Fine. For B we are writing 1. So rate is increases. For B it is 1. For B it is 1. For A it is 2 raised to 2. It will change to 4. What is 2 raised to 2? It is 4. So the rate of a reaction will be increased by a factor of 4. Remember, if concentration of A is double, keeping that B of constant, we are keeping B constant. We are not changing B. The value of B is constant. If and we are changing the A. Suppose your B is 1. We are writing B 1. And for A we are writing 2. So it is raised to 2. 2 raised to 2, it will be 4. So here 2 raised to 2 is your 4. 2 raised to 2 is your 4. So the rate of reaction will be increased by a factor of 4. Understood, student? So here for X is equal to 2 and Y is equal to 1, the rate equation is changed to this. And if concentration of A is double, keeping that B constant, the rate of reaction will be increases by a factor of 4. We are moving further for the third change, concentration change, how the concentration change affect the rate of reaction. Now if we are keeping X is equal to 0, the rate is independent of concentration of A. Obviously it will be independent. For the concentration of A will not affect at all on the rate of the reaction. Why it will not affect? Here we have taken A raised to X, in place of X we have kept it 0. So for A raised to 0, for the concentration of A raised to 0, it will become 1. So that A concentration will not affect the rate of the reaction. Rate of the reaction will depends on the concentration of B. It will not affect the A concentration will not affect the rate of the reaction. So for X is equal to the 0, the rate of is independent for the concentration of A. And if we take Y as a 0, the rate will be independent for the concentration of B. B will not affect the rate of the reaction because it will turn to 1. As here A raised to 0 has turned to 1. So 1 will not affect the rate of the reaction. Fine. So if X is equal to 0, the rate is independent of concentration of A. Next one is X is less than 0. The rate decreases at A increases. We can take vice versa. The rate increases as A decreases. In the textbook, a simple sentence has been given for this. If X is less than 0, the rate decreases as A increases. I have taken an example over here. Let us take, suppose if we are taking X is equal to -1. So your rate equation is your rate of the reaction is equal to K, concentration of A raised to X, concentration of B raised to Y. In place of X, I am writing is -1. Let us take, it will change to, this is -1, it will come to the ratio. So rate is inversely proportional to 1 upon A. If B is constant, and rate is inversely proportional to 1 upon A. Fine. As it is inversely proportional, so if one is increases, another will decreases. Fine. So here if A increases, rate of reaction will decreases, and if A decreases, rate of reaction will increases. These are the 4 conditions which show how the concentration change affect the rate of reaction. Concentration of ohm, concentration of reactant. Fine. The rate of the reaction depends on the concentration of the reactant. How we are writing the rate law? Here a reaction has been given. Consider the reaction. 2H2O gives you 2H2O. Sorry, 2H2O2 gives you, this is your H2O2 is your hydrogen peroxide. It gives you 2H2O, that is your water plus oxygen. So here the rate of the reaction is proportional to the concentration of H2O2 to the concentration of reactant. It depends upon the concentration of the reactant. So the rate law is given for this equation. So here students, the rate for this reaction is K, concentration of the reactant hydrogen peroxide. Here your X value is not 2, as we have studied that X and Y may or may not be stoichiometric ratio, as we are writing in rate of reaction and average rate of instantaneous rate of reaction. Here it is not true. This value is experimentally determined. So for this reaction, the rate is equal to K, concentration of the reactant. For this reaction, rate of the reaction is proportional to the concentration of the reactant. Understood student? This is very simple and easiest concept for writing the rate of the reaction. These value X and Y is determined experimentally. We are moving forward towards order of the reaction. Where the reaction has been given, for the reaction AA plus BB gives you CC plus DD. So for this reaction, what is the rate of the reaction? We have studied right now that rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of A raised to X, concentration of B raised to Y. Proportionality sign is being replaced by is equal to K. K is your rate constant. So rate is equal to K, concentration of A raised to X, concentration of B raised to Y. So here the sum of X and Y, suppose X is 2, Y is 1. So 2 plus 1, it gives you 3. This addition gives you order of the reaction. Sum of X plus Y gives overall order of the reaction. Thus, overall order of the chemical reaction is given as the sum of power of the concentration term in the rate law expression. Fine student, this is your equation for rate of reaction. So X plus Y will give you the order of the reaction. Let's see an equation over here to find the order of the reaction. Right now we have studied this reaction. For the reaction 2H2O2, that is the hydrogen peroxide, gives you water plus oxygen. Experimentally determine rate law. Remember the thing, experimentally determine rate law for this reaction is rate is equal to K H2O2. Here nothing has been given, has been raised over the concentration of hydrogen peroxide. It means this, that is your 1. So the rate of the reaction is first order. For this reaction, the order of the reaction, this is the rate of the reaction, and the order of the reaction is first order. So for this reaction, the rate of the reaction is this, and order of the reaction is first order. Fine, student? This is how we are going to find the order of the reaction. Next example. If the experimentally determined rate law for the reaction, this is the reaction which has been given H2 plus I2 gives you 2HI. So rate of the reaction for this reaction, rate is equal to K, concentration of H2, concentration of I2. Nothing has been raised over here. It means X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 1. So what is the sum of 1 and 1? 1 plus 1. It is your 2. Fine. So your overall order of the reaction is second order. Rate of the reaction for this reaction is this one, and order of the reaction is second order. Fine, student? Understood everyone? X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 1. 1 plus 1 gives you 2. So that is your order of this reaction is second order. Here are the few key points which has been given in your syllabus to remember the order of the reaction. First point, a very important point, the order of chemical reaction is experimentally determined. Fine, it has been determined experimentally. Second point, the order can be integral or fraction. It can be integral, it can be fraction. Suppose this is the reaction, CH3CHO reacted, this reactant reacted and it gives you CH4 plus CO. So rate of the reaction for this, the rate law for the reaction is found to be rate is equal to K, concentration CH3CHO raised to your X is equal to 3/2, which is a fraction. So the order of this reaction is 3/2, which is a fraction. This is determined experimentally. Remember the thing, 3/2, this is determined experimentally. So the order for this reaction is 3/2. You are supposed to remember it, that 3/2 is the order for this reaction. 1 is order for that reaction. 2 is order for that reaction. That is experimentally determined values. Next point, key points about the order of reaction is that the order of the reaction can be 0. It can be 0. Suppose this is the reaction given NO2 plus CO gives you NO plus CO2. The rate expression for this depends upon KNO2. It doesn't depend upon CO because here CO is 0. This shows that the order of reaction with respect to NO2 is 2. For X it is 2. For CO it is 0. So for 0, that is for 0, rate of the reaction doesn't depend upon carbon monoxide. It depends upon nitrogen dioxide. Fine. And for nitrogen dioxide it is 2. For carbon monoxide it is 0. So rate of reaction is independent of concentration of CO. This doesn't depend. We have studied right now that if something is 0, if B concentration to the B concentration it is raised to, suppose Y, for the B Y is there. If it is 0, it doesn't depend upon the rate of the reaction, does not depend upon B, it will depend upon E. Here also similarly, for carbon monoxide, the value is 0, so it is independent of concentration of CO. So rate of the reaction for this reaction is rate is equal to K concentration of NO2 raised to 2. So your X is 2, Y is 0. So 2 plus 0 will be 2. So your order of the reaction is 2. For this reaction, your rate of reaction is this and order of reaction is 2. Last point, only a few reactions of third order are known. We have studied first order, we have studied second order. In integral, in fraction, we have studied. Your third order, only few reactions are there. Reaction with the order higher than 3 are scanty. Scanty means small, very rare. Find reaction with the order higher than 3 are scanty. So here we have completed with the order of the reaction. Till here we have completed rate of reaction, in rate of reaction, average rate of chemical reaction, instantaneous rate of chemical reaction. Then we have moved forward towards rate of reaction and reactant concentration. In that we have studied rate law and writing the rate law, order of the reaction and key point about the order of reaction. Hope you all have understood. If you are having any query, any problem, let me know. Inshallah, we will solve it. Till then, take care, study well, do your best. Thank you.